So around 2,500 years ago, there was a Greek philosopher named Heraclitus, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But among the many quotes from Heraclitus, one that stuck out to me today was, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." So of course I'm going to find an analogy to finance in that. And first we need to talk about what the quote means. So I can go swim in a river right now. You can go swim in a river right now. You can get out for a minute and get back in. And what he's saying is it's not the same river. Why? Because one of the qualities of a river is the water keeps flowing. So when you get back in, it's different water, it's different sediment, it's different fish, it's different microorganisms. So much of the river is different. Just because you stepped in one particular spot, the rest of the river is different. You're also different because you stepped out. Maybe you dried off. Maybe you thought about something different. Maybe a bug landed on you. You're a different person than you were when you got in. So how do we relate that to finance? Well, so often we look at past results. We as investors, we as entrepreneurs go, well, this person did it this way, or here were the results before, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to invest my money in just the S&P, or I'm going to start a newsletter business because these other people did it, or I'm going to start investing in real estate because these other people did it and look how they did it, and therefore I'm going to get wealthy, I'm going to get rich, I'm going to have the same results. And yes, you might have some similar results, but realize the situation then was very different than it is now. And that's not to say now is wrong or bad, but you have to realize their situation, the situation for the world, for the economy is different than it is today, than it is right this moment. Again, not good, bad, just different. And first, what we want to do is go back and understand, either as advisors or as investors, go back and understand, if we're talking about investing, what happened for those particular results. What was going on in the world, in the economy, in the sector, in technology, in geopolitics, whatever it might be, that made those results possible. And again, you don't have to go all the way into it if you're just going, well, I'm going to invest in real estate. What was happening in real estate at the time with interest rates and with values of homes and everything? And go, what was happening, and therefore where did the results come from? And when you do that, you can go, all right, what am I going to invest in now? What am I going to invest my time and my money in now that might have similar results? Or I really want to get into real estate investing. I need to look and see where we are today. Look at the past and go, maybe I can't do it exactly, but I'm going to take what I learned and invest now, and that's going to be my business. What is my newsletter business going to look like? Or what is my investment portfolio going to look like? I'm going to have my job, I have my income. What does my investment portfolio look like? And then I got to look at what are my particular circumstances, right? I can't necessarily go investing in a bunch of illiquid real estate if I have bills to pay and I have a family and I got to pay for school and home and all that. I can't go investing in illiquid real estate. So I got to look at me personally. Where am I? And then also be open to changing things along the way. The way I invest between ages 30 and 45 are different from ages 50 to 70 because I have different needs, I have different goals, the economy is different, everything's different. You can't just go, the S&P went up and to the right, so it's going to keep going up and to the right. You can't go, the Fed is going to fix inflation because the Fed has never dealt with this situation like it is today, which is they just printed a record amount of money. There's a record amount of people in the world and in the US, and there are huge swaths of the global economy that's choosing not to use the dollar as their preferred payment system. So, and again, not to say that's good or bad, not to say like I got to throw my hands up and go everything's going to be horrible. I go, all right, what's different? What am I going to do this time? What am I going to do right now? If I'm an advisor, what fits my clients? And it's not just showing S&P charts and going, it goes up and to the right, up and to the right. You have to know, here's what made it go up and to the right. Or is that situation the same? Are things different? Are there places where I can put my money differently? And do those places make sense for me as an individual investor? Do they make sense for my family, my goals, my needs, and everything else I can do? Just because someone else got wealthy or invested well or something doesn't mean they were really good at it. They could have been lucky. It could have been they were really good and they had the right situation. So keep this in mind. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. You keep flowing, the river keeps flowing, and you have to keep that in mind when it comes to your life, your investments, your money.